giving everything he gave at the same time. Yeah. Coke fed, press some hand, let's get in the car. I said she grabbed my hand, girls rescue, met the bar, witness said, tears fled the head, I'm waiting, I guess she tweet, I guess she confess, she thinking less, not drinking less, bathroom says, best it gets, spontaneous, I stereotype, put to rest tonight. Imagine, believe, and achieve, it works. Skyline as I rise like fireworks. Smell through the bag, don't touch my perk.
Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to this edition of After the Storm, your OKC Thunder post-game analysis live stream. And I'm gonna say this: I have no problem with J-Dub. What's up, Burgess? How you doing? He's had one game, bro. I'm not gonna say he's arrived. He's played good, but has he arrived? No, not yet. Go on the road and do what you did tonight. Then I'm gonna say that. But am I happy with J-Dub? Am I happy with what he did? Yes. 100% I am. I mean, why would I not be? I'm not a hater on him, but for you to get all excited and act like he's a number one, no, I'm not there at all. Because who knows, he might score 6 points tomorrow. I mean, in 3 days. I don't know what he's going to do. So, but am I happy with J-Dub? Yes. Am I glad that he showed up? Yes, I am. I'm not, but I give him his flowers. Every time that he does what he's supposed to do, I give him his flowers. 100%. But I'm not going to be on your bandwagon and go, he's great and something. He's a good player. And I'm not going to, I'm not. Okay, Hotspot, I'm going to say this. I'm okay with J-Dub as a Robin, 100%. I'm not. We have to have him. We're not, and I said this before when he missed those games during the middle of the year, and Kaysen jumped up and completely took his spot, and we didn't miss him one bit. But what I said right then is we're not going to win the playoffs without J-Dub. Period. We're not going to win without SJ doing what SJ does. We're not going to win without J-Dub being his Robin. We're not going to win without Chet stepping up and doing without J-Dub supporting SJ. It's not going to happen. I'm great. Let me see. I'm not too big on Jalen, but he's the MVP of the finals. No, he's not. SJ's the MVP of the finals, bro. You're in fantasy land. SJ's the MVP of the finals. Just because he goes against 40, great. But look what happened the other night in Game 4. And I would have talked about this had the show not kept interrupting and disappearing. J-Dub brought the ball up the floor. We were 3 for 17. Why? Because he's not a ball handler. That's one of his weaknesses. Today, look how many shots we had in 3. Look what we did 100%. He's not the MVP. SJ is the MVP without question. Game 4, SJ wins the game for us. Period. That's the end of the story. Is J-Dub a great supporter? Yes. But there's no discrepancy like with him and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. There's nobody but you that would ever say that J-Dub is the MVP of the finals. Only you, the one person that would say that in America. Nobody else is going to say that. Dagnall probably would. But nobody else is saying that. SGA. We're up 3-2 because of SGA. Period. That's the end of story. He is the MVP. He is the best player on our team. J-Dub is a great Robin, and I'm glad that he's showing up. It's about time. J-Dub has the type of game to close out this series. He may be the conversation for finals MVP. Burgess, you're high too. You two are the only people saying that. There's nobody who can even say that he's SGA is our finals MVP. You're on another planet if you think that he's not. He is the finals MVP. The only reason why we're able to go 3-2 is because he took care of business in Game 4. Just like he did Game 4 against Dallas last year. Just like he did in Game 4 against Minnesota. Just like he did in Game 4 against Denver. Just like he did in Game 4 against Indiana. We're 0-4 in Game 3s. We're 4-0 in Game 4s because of SGA. Period. End of story. We're now 3-1 in Game 5s, counting last year's Dallas debacle. Those are facts. And yes, I'm happy with J-Dub, and I'm glad that he's done what he's doing, and I'm happy for him, and we're not going to win without him, and I said that. But the question of who's the MVP, you guys I don't know what the hell you're thinking. Whatever you're smoking and drinking, I need some of it. Send over some to Oklahoma City because I need some of whatever you're drinking and smoking. There's nobody who's going to say J-Dub is the MVP. No one. But you two, back to back. Nobody's saying that. No, there's no chance he's going to get the MVP. We're not 3-2 if it's not for SGA, period. J-Dub's had one magnificent game. He did great the other day, but look at it. We thought we were 3 for 17 from 3. We had 17 free throws. Why? Because J-Dub was handling the ball. Why? Because we were playing every other day. Why? Because SGA was exhausted because of what he did playing 42 minutes in Game 3. That's why. And just because J-Dub had a great game, 100%, I'm happy for J-Dub. But for you to throw in the MVP, you're just, I don't even want to, just stop that nonsense. That's not even up for discussion. Look at basketball. You guys claim to be basketball, know about basketball. For you to even say that, I don't know what the hell you're thinking. You're not. Ball up. What did we do? Who brought the ball up tonight, majority of the game? What are our stats? How many threes did we make? How many threes did we shoot? Now, he took the load off SGA, but SGA closed the door, period. J-Dub had 27 points going in the fourth quarter. He ended up with 27. SGA had 20 points going in the fourth quarter and ended up with 35. Scored 11 straight. Anyway, you guys, nice to have y'all on. Think whatever you're going to think. Okay, let's talk about tonight's game. I'm going to say this. What I saw tonight from the Thunder was a typical Game 5. For us, this 3-0 against Denver. What happened? J-Dub, Chet showed up along with our others, which is Kaysen, which is Wiggins. Those guys showed up at home, which is what your bench players or your reserve or Shaq calls them, the others do. That's what they do. They show up in that, period. That's what the others do. But where were they in Game 4? Nowhere to be found. But that's what the beauty of his home, like we did against Denver, like we did against Minnesota, and like we've done against the Pacers. That's what your others do. That's how you win the games. And SGA was just basic doing what he think, but he had to go get his 30. Why? Because he wanted to set the record for the most consecutive 30-point games to break tied Wilt Chamberlain at 10 30-point games in a row at home. He broke Wilt Chamberlain's record. Think about that. Wilt Chamberlain had that record. That's a long-ass time ago. What's that, 60 years? He broke that record. He broke the record between LeBron and him and Jordan. He now has 12 30-point games with 5 assists. He broke that record set by Jordan, and him and LeBron all had 11. He broke that. Appreciate what you have in front of you as far as greatness. Appreciate the player you have. The Thunder fans didn't appreciate KD when they had Russell. The difference between this team and that team is you had Russell, you had KD, you had Harden, all competing for who the hell was the guy. When it was at J-Dub, when KD was the guy all along. Period. KD goes to the best team in the league and is the best player on the best team, without question. Not even up for discussion. Russell, James Harden struggle. Now, this team with the big three understands it's SGA and us. There's no question. There's no infight. There's nobody trying to decide who is the guy. SGA is the guy. We're not going to win without him. They all understand that. There's no question about who is the guy. Period. Let me see. John, good game from J-Dub, but I don't think he is that consistent yet. SGA is Mr. Consistent. Yes, he's that's exactly right, John. J-Dub played great tonight. 40-piece. Fantastic. But he is not consistent yet. Now, next year he may be able to get there, but he ain't there yet. Alex, J-Dub's improved so much getting it to the line. Making the free throws. He gets to the line, but Alex, he is actually making free throws. Let me see. I'm telling you right now, Mark, are you talking? My name is Matt. Who the fuck are you? Hotspot, I'm Matt. I'm not. If you're talking to me or you're talking to Dagnon, I don't know who you're talking about. If Jalen gets 30 points in Game 6, he's getting the MVP, dude. He's not getting the MVP, bro. Just good luck. Anyway, the whole point is this. I like what J-Dub is doing. He's getting there. But when you talk about the finals, there's one person that no, I have not lost my positivity. It's a pity. I've not lost my positivity. My thing is this: I'm excited about what we are. Okay, period. I'm excited, and I've said this plain and simple. This is how it works. We are 0-4 in game threes, and after we lost game three, I brought this point up. We are 4-0 in game fours. Brought that point up. Talked about this today. We are what? 3-0 this year and 3-1 in game fives. We won 3 straight game fives. Why is that? Because what we do is our step up and play. That's how it is. Our team is based on SGA making play, being the playmaker, and everybody else making plays. When he's doing what he does, it frees everybody else up not to be able to try to make plays. When everybody else tries to be a playmaker, when I was sitting there screaming today about Wiggins, bro, just pass the damn ball. I don't need you trying to do that. Just catch and shoot the three. Dort, catch and shoot the three. Don't try to do any more of that. That's who you are. That's the problem I have with Dagnall. Period. Put them in place to make them do what they do best for us to win. And my problem with the coach is very simple, and I've been saying this before. He has no flow of the game. He just doesn't get it. He just doesn't get it. Bro, when you make a run, and I said this in game 3, and game 4 both, when you make a run and the opposing team calls timeout, you have to change your lineup. If you don't and stick with the same lineup, what he's going to do, the opposing coach, especially somebody like Rick Carlisle, he's going to make adjustments. And then when you bring the same lineup back out there, and they went on a run tonight, and my guy sitting there looked at me and he goes, bro, you just said that the other day on the show. I go, I know that, but he don't get it. He doesn't. He doesn't understand. Bro, when the opposing team, when you make a run and they call timeout, you have to change your lineup. Why? Because they're changing their lineup based on what you have out there. And then when you can bring the same lineup, they're going to go on a run, which is what they do every time. Then after they go on a run, then you take J-Dub out and bring SJ in. Instead of when they call timeout, you bring SJ in and you change completely. Whatever the hell they just did is irrelevant. That's how you win. You don't go through a process. Now, here's the issue. And when you look at what we did against Denver, and I said this in the Denver series, the best thing in the world for us was Denver. Why? Because what it did is it taught the Thunder how to win. It taught the Thunder how to go through adversity, how to make plays when you had to. We lost game 1. We gave them game 1. Killed them in game 2. Game 3, let's face it, that was SJ's fault. And he took full responsibility. Full responsibility. Bro, you got to make shots. But what he hasn't done, he hadn't played. We hadn't played, which I'm worried about. I was worried about that. He hadn't played. We hadn't played. I was worried about us as a group. We folded in game 3. Game 4, guess what happened? We come back out. We handle our business in game 4. SGA makes the shots. Game 5, J-Dub, Chet, SGA, Wiggins, Dort, kick their ass. Game 6, only 2 people showed up was SGA and Caruso. Nobody else showed up. That was just those 2. That was it. Nobody else showed up but those 2. Period. Then at game 7, everybody showed up. Then we go to Minnesota. That carried over from game 7. J-Dub, SGA, J-Dub, Chet, and him. Here we go. Now all of a sudden we win that in game 5, and I said this, I was worried because having 7 days off was going to screw our continuity that we had developed over the series with Denver and with Minnesota. And we come out in game 1, we fold, just like we did against Denver. Game 2, we do what we need to do. Game 3, we come out there and disappear. Game 4, SGA handles his business, closes the door, we win. Game 5, team effort, we win again because of the others. Game 6, the question is, what's going to happen then? Period. What is going to happen then in Game 6 on the road? Now, I had predicted we were going to win in 6. I said this before, we'd win in 5 or 6. But I thought 6. I thought we'd win games 4 and games 5. If we lost game 3, I said we're going to win 3 in a row. Games 4, games 5, and game 6. And we've won game 4 and game 5. I believe we're going to go and beat them in game 6. I just believe that. I believe because of who we are and what we're doing, and we've got some traction. And remember, the 3 days have helped us because SJ is there. The way they're physically beating him up, it helps us give him that extra day's rest. Whereas in the other series, it was better for us because we got to do this. That's what I said. We're going to close them out in 6. I've said that. And if it goes to Game 7, for sure we'll beat them in Game 7. Not really worried about that so much. So when you go and you look at the stats for the game tonight, here are the stats. 120-109. Once again, the Pacers have not won one game when they hadn't scored 111 points. That's their magic thing. They have not won. We held them 2 points under, but even if they had scored 111, I wish they would have scored 111, made one more bucket so we could squash that. Pacers 11 for 30. Thunder 14 for 32. And this is what you look at. You look at with J-Dub running point, we were 3 of 17. Now, he had to because SJ was so physically exhausted. Great job by Dagnall putting the ball in J-Dub's hands for them to rest, and then they run a 2-man game at the end of the Game 4, where SJ just took over. Thunder 14 to 32 with SJ as a point guard. SJ running the show, 14 for 32. That's the difference between J-Dub and SGA. 14 for 32. They shot 45%. We shot 42. They out-rebounded us by 4. Pips, points in the paint, which is something that we pride ourselves on. We lost the rebounding battle tonight, and we lost the points in the paint, and we still won. Why? The next stat, 23 and 11. 23 and 11 turnovers. Now, what's the difference between them having 25? Remember, they had 25 turnovers in Game 1, and we lost. Then they had 15, 14, 15. Now they're up to 23. Now, a lot of it has to do with them, their guys, their others being on the road. A lot of it has to do with the fact of what the torture chamber did to Halliburton. I don't think he scored until, the third quarter? Late second quarter? Before he got his free throws? He didn't score. Defense is something that's always said, defense travels. That's what you look at with the Thunder. Now, when you go to the box score, Chet, 34 minutes, 9 points, 11 boards. One steal, 3 blocks. I want Chet to pass the damn ball more. 4 for 15. Dude, you're 7 foot, dunk the damn ball. Try to dunk with your left. Yes, Angel, that game was insane. That game was insane. I agree. Hotspot, OKC closed them out in 6. I believe that. Okay, in 6, John. I agree with that. Angel. Hallie lost confidence, and if he was really hurt, coach should have just let him rest. What T.J. McConnell can't do with Angel, T.J. can't do what Hallie does. Okay, he just can't. He's a little dude, and he's just not going to be able to do what he does. I just don't think that. But you look at what Dort, what Queso, and what Caruso did to Hallie. And then, let's face something. Siakam is a monster. He is a monster. What a great trade by adding that guy. But J-Dub did a fantastic job, I thought. J-Dub did a great job D'ing him up, making it tough on him. And then when he did get the mismatches, I thought SGA did a good job. Casey did a better job tonight on Siakam. But Siakam is going to do whatever the hell Siakam wants. He's a hell of a player, and he's going to do what he does. So that's what I think. A hot spot. I don't think Hallie is hurt like that. I think his excuse, the storyline is going to be BS because people will just say our championship win was a fluke because Hallie got hurt. No one's going to say that. Everybody thinks that we're a better team than them, 100%, and I believe that. J-Dub, 35 minutes, 14 for 25, 3 for 5, great job, 9 for 12, 6 rebounds. He played great, plus 14, 40 points. I thought he played really, really good tonight. Showed up, which is what we needed him to do. Iheart, 1 for 2. I still want him to shoot more. I just need him to shoot his floater more. He just needs to do that more. SGA, 38 minutes, 9 for 21, 0 for 3, 13, 14, makes his free throws, 10 assists. And like I said, he passed Wilt for his 10th straight 30-point home game, which is crazy that Wilt Chamberlain has that record. That's just insane to me. And then Lou Dort does what Lou Dort does. The torture chamber, 9 points, 3 for 7, 3 for 6 from 3, which, like I said, I don't want you doing anything but shooting the ball, Lou. I want you doing more than that. K. Rich, 11 good minutes tonight. He didn't score any points, but I thought he played great defensively. He did great on Siakam. I thought K. Rich played him great, did fantastic. Caruso, 1 for 8, 0 for 3. But other than that, dude, how do you not love Caruso? You know what I'm saying? Aaron Wiggins, 22 points, 4 for 10, 4 for 7, 14 points. But 4 for 7 for 3, bro. Just catch the ball and shoot is all I want. Kaysen, 3 for 4. We really needed him to step up, and I thought I was so excited for Kaysen to be able to score tonight. I really, really was. I really enjoyed Kaysen doing what he did. Now, when we look forward to what's happening next, here's the situation. It's 3-2. Next game is Thursday night in Indianapolis, 7:30 on ABC. And then, of course, Sunday, Game 7, 7 o'clock, Sunday night. I believe the Thunder, like I said, we're going to win in 6. That's just what I thought. I thought that before. I still think it's 6. That's just what I think. I think we're going to handle our business. I think we're going to step up. I think J-Dub's going to do what he needs to do. I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to get past. I'm hoping he does, because if he doesn't, we're not going to win. Because SGA is going to do what he does, but J-Dub has to step up. Chet has to have a big game. We have to have the others hitting threes. Dort has to hit his threes. Wiggins has to come out and hit threes. Those are things that we have to have in order to win Game 6 on the road, because we know that SGA is going to do what he does. I think Caruso is going to have a bounce-back game, but SGA is going to do what he does, and I think that's how that's going to play out. Want to thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit our guys up over there. Hopefully they're going to do what they need to do for you, which, of course, I know they will. So if you have a water treatment plant in your city or county, hit those guys up, because, as we always say, who the hell does not like clean, drinking water? Or Grow Trucking, and my guy, Jose Fierro. If you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, or if you have a construction project that you're doing, a road project, hey, he'd be more happy to pull his dump truck up there, load his stuff up, take it off, and dump it wherever it needs to go. YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. You can go to one of our the main location at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 or 39th Expressway. YB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40. And, of course, YB People's located on 23rd in Bethany between Rockwell and MacArthur. And, of course, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. I had that on tonight. I had so many people come up and go, oh, my God, what is that? It smells so good. Guys, you've got to go get some. It is delicious. It really, really is good stuff. Of course, go by the Penn Square Mall there in Oklahoma City, the Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, Town East Mall in Wichita, Kansas, Oak Park Mall in Overland Park, Kansas, Park Plaza Mall in Little Rock, South Plains Mall in Lubbock, and Westgate Mall in Amarillo. If you go by any of those locations, tell them that we sent you guys, and I promise you they will give you what you need. Now, let's talk about where the Thunder are and what they're on the precipice of doing. First of all, the Seattle Supersonics have a chip. They won their deal, and then they traded Dennis Johnson to the Boston Celtics, and the Celtics went on a run after they won the chip. Now the Thunder, who are the Seattle Supersonics, have a chance to win our own chip as a Thunder franchise. And you've got to appreciate what Sam Presti has learned from the first time when he had the first big three, which is Durant, Harden, Westbrook. And I got to throw in Ibaka in there as the fourth guy. What he learned from that, and then Steven Adams, of course. But he learned from that because he never really added anybody to that lineup to watch them go. This time around, what did he do? You trade for SGA, then you draft Josh Giddey, then you draft J-Dub, and then you trade Josh Giddey, then you draft J-Dub, Chet, and J. Will. Then you turn around and you draft Queso, Then you turn around and you trade Josh to Chicago and get Caruso, and then you pick up iHeart. That's what Sam Presti did and put together. Then you have your coach who is analytical and he's good at what he does as far as out of bounds plays. Unfortunately, we don't have anybody who can take the ball out, which Topic will do next year. He's our Josh Giddey, but Josh Giddey on steroids if he's 90% of what he was supposed to be, which I believe he will because he's been off for over a year. So by the time he plays, it'll be 18 months. So he should be raring to go. And then how are you going to double team us at that point? Because if you double team SGA, boom, you hit Topic, he's going to go to work. You got J-Dub on one side, you got Caruso or Dort or Chet on the other side. You got whomever you want going up coming down the dunker spot. Or you put Chet in the dunker spot or iHeart in the dunker spot. But you know you got SGA, you got Topic, and you got J-Dub. And you got Chet. So you know whoever you want to stick in the fifth spot, whether that's Dort, whether that's Caruso, whether that's Queso, whomever. But I still believe you got to have that 6'10", 6'11" guy coming in there. So to me, that's where the Thunder are. So you're sitting pretty, and as I've said before, you have a 5-year window where you go. Everybody's under contract with the Thunder right now. You have a 5-year window. This is year 2 of that 5-year window. Burgess says they have to not let their foot off the gas. I don't see that happening. I really don't, Burgess. I don't see SGA letting that happen. And now that J-Dub is starting to emerge as the Robin, I think that's going to help. But once again, he needs to do that on the road. Now, do I expect him to score another 40-piece? No. Should he get 25? Yes. All I need him to do is be supportive and let SGA do what he does, and we're going to win if Chet steps up and we have some sort of bench presence at all from Wiggins, from Caruso, from Queso. If he's continuing to knock down shots like he did tonight, we're going to win. And as I've said from the very, 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 very beginning, if SGA is rolling and does what he does, then if you have Chet, you have J-Dub, you have Dort, and especially if you have Dort, Wiggins, and Isaiah Joe, which you can't play Isaiah Joe because you can't play him because they attack him immediately. But if you have J-Dub, Chet, Queso, and Wiggins, if you have all 4 of those, J-Dub, Chet, Caruso, and Queso rolling, and then if you can add Wiggins in there to knock down some shots, we're unbeatable. And I've said that. That's who I believe the Thunder are. That's who I believe that we're going to do. Like I said, I think we're going to win them at 6. I believe we're going to win on the road. And somebody was asking me that. Would you rather win at home? I said, I'm disappointed because had we not lost game 1, we would be winning tonight and celebrating right now. But I said at that point, we're going to win at 6. I believe we're going to win games 4, 5, and 6. So far, we've won games 4 and 5. But I said that after the loss, we're going to win games 4, 5, and 6. I've said that. That's what I believe. So whoever you're talking about, how me being negative, I don't know what the hell you're talking about because you don't even listen. I hate people to come on my show and talk about now positivity. You're an idiot. It's not what I'm saying. You're not even listening to me. You're just coming on. You hear 2 words and you leave because you're an idiot. You don't know what the hell you're talking about in the first place. And let me say this. As a parent, we had an idiot parent at the game tonight. Your kid is standing up, and these guys, in our section, never seen these people. Your kid is standing up. You have an older lady behind him. And I said, hey, man, can you sit down? You have an older lady in front of you. Can you please sit? The dad goes, oh, whatever, stand up. I go, great parenting. You're a great parent, bro. Because what do you do at that point? Hey, son, sit down. There's an elder woman, an older grandmother, or an elderly woman sitting behind you. Why don't you sit down? Nobody's standing in front of you. You don't have to stand up. There's no need. There's 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Why are you standing? Everybody's sitting in the section except you, and you have an older lady behind you. What happened to his dad going, hey, son, why don't you be respectful to this lady behind you? But an idiot parent, which is what they are, take your ass back to wherever you're from. Go back up to Loud City. Stand your ass up over Loud City all you want to. But in this level, learn the game, understanding what you're doing. I get it, you're young, you're excited. Nobody's standing but you, and you're in front of people. They can't see. Sit down and be respectful for the people who are behind you, the people in your section. As a parent, Learn how to teach your kids something. Learn how you teach your kid how to be respect. Your kid's going to be a damn little thug is what he's going to be. He's going to be an idiot. Teachable moment right there. But did you do it? No, because you're an idiot. As a parent, you have to teach your kids moments like that. You're you're 12 years old, 11 years old, and you're standing in front of a grandmother, basically a grandmother. Now she has to stand up instead of being respectful enough to let her sit. That's ridiculous. That's a teachable moment as a parent. But you're an idiot, and you're not a parent. You're probably a guy who's divorced, and you got your kid, and you're trying to be, let me protect my son. You ain't protecting your son. You're looking like a freaking idiot. I had 2 or 3 people wanting to say something. I go, no, don't start a fight. He's a dumbass. That's a teachable moment for you, dude. Hey, son, go ahead and sit down. You have an elderly woman standing behind you. That's sitting behind you. She can't see. Real easy. Oh, let me stand up. You're a fucking idiot. And I told him that. And he just looked at me and go, bring your ass over here. What you gonna do? You ain't gonna mess with me. I already know that. What you doing? Teachable moment. And I said it out loud. Miss that teachable moment, dude. And he heard me, and the kid heard me. And people just kind of looked around and started laughing because that was a teachable moment that you just totally went by. And when you look at the Thunder, what are the Thunder doing? They're learning as we go. And the Denver series, like we said, was the best thing in the world for the Thunder. Because why? Number one, it got us to play longer so we get back in the rhythm of playing. Number one, most importantly. Number two, adversity hit us in the face. You're down 2-1, and you got to win game 4, and you win. You go to Minnesota, you're up 2-1, they kick your butt, and what do? You destroy them in game 4. We were at Cats, people were bitching. I was like, bro, it's one game. We got embarrassed. You think we're not going to come back and bust their ass because they just embarrassed us? They just embarrassed us. You think that SGA is not going to come back and kill them? Of course he is. Here are the things that matter. And the Thunder are in the process of learning. And remember, this is year 2. This is year 2 of 5. We learned a big lesson. Like J-Dub, you heard him talking about how he was he couldn't sleep. Yeah, when you lose games like that, yeah, you're like, man, we just lost and we should have won. We're better than Dallas last year. But we got outcoached. We got outplayed. But we came back and we learned. Denver series, adversity, bounce back in game 4. Minnesota, adversity, bounce back in game 4. Indianapolis, adversity, bounce back in game 4. And SGA was the leader in all 4 of those categories, and all 3 of those instances. Because this is the truth. When he's rolling and he's going and he's scoring 4 or 5 or 6 times in a row, the rest of our team relaxes and we kick your butt. Because there's no pressure. They can just go play because he's got it and they know it. And that's the difference where the Thunder are currently and where we're going to be. So, what do I see for Game 6? I think the Thunder are going to do what they up, takes over some of what he came tonight, and that keeps over. But we need Chet to step up. Caruso to come back and have a bounce-back game because he played terrible. We need Wiggins to keep knocking down threes and quit trying to make plays. We need Dort to continue keep putting people in the torture chamber and knock down some threes. Because I can promise you, they're going to fight us tooth and nail. And all you got to do is withstand their run. All you got to do is withstand their pressure when they come at us. That's all you got to do. And I think we will. I'm confident in that. So, that being said, guys, that's all I have for tonight. Thank you guys for coming on and doing your thing. And let's go. Game 6, Thursday night. Let's handle our business, close this thing out. And if it's a game 7 on Sunday, for sure I know we'll win that. But I just don't believe it's going to go 7 games. I just don't. I said before, we're going to win games 4, games 5, and game 6. We're 2 parts of the 3 parts that I predicted. Because I just believe that's what we're going to do. I believe we have the team. I believe that we is. So, that being said, hey, everybody have a good night. It's late. It's 12 o'clock. You guys go get some rest tonight. Get ready for game 6. Thunder up 3-2. Looking forward to it, guys. All right? Peace out.